And we're back. I just got disconnected for a bit. So here I am going to, well, I was going to petition for Seed of Fury and just play it depleted there, but I drew a Cylix, so now I can play Wisdom. The reason I do that is because I wanted to get Aegis with this Waystone, and speed is not important in this matchup. Let me play back speed. There we go. Alright, and situations like this are why I think Guardian of Spring is completely unplayable, even in Sling decks. Just now I have a free removal spell for 2 every single turn. I never have to forego using it for tempo reasons because all their units are so expensive that just having a kill spell for 2 means I'm always going to be ahead on board. Here I opt to stun this instead of playing Torgov. I don't want to just like take 7 or lose it if they have Huntress or whatever. And I'm just going to keep on hitting my power drops. And I wanted to face Aegis there, so this didn't get Siege Breaker. They had the Transpose, but they opted to Rain of Frogs me instead of Siege Breaker, and like, then they take a long time because, like, what do? You're gonna take Torgov? That's not even a good card in the matchup, so I just kind of wasted a card there. So now I'm ahead on cards. I have this Eye of Winter, so I'm ahead on tempo effectively. I'm gonna be able to hit all of my power drops. I'm just gonna draw a card, and I'm gonna stun that. Not going to play the Frog because I don't want to take a bunch of overwhelm damage if they have a Sling. And also I can convert it into a real card in a lot of different ways. Like there's the obvious one is Transpose, but I can also Huntress it into a Sigil and play the Sigil, or Huntress it twice into a Sigil and then into a Treasure Trove. So here I really want to kill the Siegebreaker, but I can't get Huntress big enough to kill it. Like I put on a Grenarender, it's only 4 strength. So I just have to get a face Aegis and stun and stuff. So instead I have to just draw another card plus stun, or I can't stun anymore. I have to draw a card plus Permafrost the 7/6. So stun it, but not with 2 power, with 1 power. Not using the Eye of Winter, that's dead. Drawing the second Grenarender is nice because now they Sling. I can kill it even through their face Aegis, and it's certainly worth 2 cards for me to do so. Second Transpose, not to protect anything, but just to get a Furnace Mage to break the perma and bash me for a bunch. So now it's getting kind of hairy. Like I'm at 10 and facing down 3 fairly large guys. Well, they don't have a Sling, so there's still a shot there. So I'm gonna choose Ember Fury Blade because I think that this might get traded with, and then I can buff up one of these Grenarenders or Frog or something to be reasonably sized. And that was also a nice draw because it gives me a big enough unit to Huntress on the Siegebreaker and grab my Sling. So now I have to trade with the Guardian, and then the Frog is going to be able to chump the Furnace Mage. And as long as they don't have a Sling or a Huntress, I should be okay. And they play a Guardian, which, like, it puts on a lot of pressure, but it also gives me a Eye of Winter. And they had the Huntress, so now I'm chump blocking and going to 3, so I am just at the extreme edge here. However, the Huntress stunning the Guardian means that I'm basically getting to stun 2 units forever by eyeing this Huntress, which is cool. And except I can't eye the Huntress here, I have to eye the other Guardian, but still it's like 2 units are occupied. And then I play the Waystone to get another chump blocker, so I can play 2 chump blockers. Since they have 2 lethal attackers, I just need to fade. They calibrate and they trove, and they do not hit. They get a Sling and get to draw a card, but I do live another turn here. And I have a Sling, so if I draw a fatty, I'm in business. And here I draw Permafrost to permanently lock down that Huntress and just get 2 units permanently stunned, which is super nice. I draw Geminon, but I can't Geminon plus Sling this turn, so I have to just Permafrost and Eye and Grenarender and chump again. It's the exact same situation as last turn, only now I have an end in sight, whereas if I get the power up, I get to Sling Geminon and stabilize the board. And they whiff again. We have it. And also Sear is just an extra layer of protection that can kill the Furnace Mage. So here a funny thing happens where I actually have to Sling the Titan instead of the Guardian because I can't stun the Titan with Eye of Winter. Kill the 5/6 instead of the 7/6 Overwhelm. Alright, and now Huntress isn't good enough to bash the Geminon, so I'm actually totally safe here. Even Tovan plus Huntress wouldn't bash through Geminon. And I have enough power to play everything, so I'm just leading on Wisdom. A second Geminon definitely cleans the board up. And I opt not to stun here. Instead, I'm going to Sear the 4-3. A second Sling is scary. Now they can kill a Geminon, but they don't have a fatty. So here I'm thinking about whether I want to hold the Sear for possible Desert Alchemist if I start attacking, but ultimately I decide that I can't afford to wait that, and I decide to Sear the face now that they have 2 slings so that I can kill one to protect my Geminons. I immediately draw Transpose, so it's like sort of punished. But it just means I have to hold back an extra Geminon, hold back one of the Geminons at all times. Oh, actually I don't, because now I have Dazzle to stun a unit, so I can definitely get aggressive now. I've turned the corner. So I'm here to think about if I do need to leave back another unit, but with the Dazzle and the unit back to block, I can afford to smash with both. And they don't have an Alchemist, so take 14. Then debating if I want to play the Huntress just to block. Decide not to get another blocker, although this takes lethal overall damage from Sling, so that Transpose coming in clutch. Siege Train, yup. Have to let my Facey just get popped. They get to fetch another Sling. And here's the lethal Guardian of Spring. However, gotcha. I don't actually want to put away this Cobalt Waystone normally, but since I have lethal, it's okay. And that's the writing on the wall. GG. 1-0 in day 2.